What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. In this tutorial I'm going to be adding the enemy movement and maybe enemy shooting, but I don't think we're gonna have time for that, so probably just enemy movement. So let's get started. Go into the enemies sprite and we're gonna go to when I start as a clone forever position. So hold up. Alright, so right now we're only making one enemy and we're just gonna leave it like that for now, but we're gonna say forever, we're gonna say a new block called find target, and this is gonna be if it's shooting like a shape or if it's shooting the player, and right now it's only gonna target the player, so we're just gonna say find target before we position. And then what we're gonna do is say if else, not actually, you know what, yeah, we're just gonna do it this way. So I can make the targeting for the other one first, I guess. So actually, yeah, we're gonna need a if else, and then we're gonna say a new variable called targeting layer. So called targeting player, and that is going to be for this sprite only. So now what we're going to do is if not targeting player equals player, then we're gonna do for a shape, we're gonna try to target the shape. So to find the shape we need to set a new variable I for this sprite only, and we need to set it to be 1, so set I to 1. Then we need to set the we need another new variable called closest distance for this sprite only, and we need to set that to be a very big number, so like just spam 9 a bunch. And then we need to repeat the length of shape X or any of the shape lists. So I'm gonna do shape X. Oh wait, there isn't a shape X. Oh, did I not make that yet? No, I did. Oh, it's shapes X. Sorry. Alright, so then we're gonna say whoops. If it equals, if item I of shapes dead equals no, then we're gonna find distance to target. So that's gonna be a new block called find distance to target, and then we're gonna put X and Y, because those are gonna be the inputs. So we're gonna find the distance to target the item I of shapes X and item I of shapes Y. Then in the find target block, the find distance to target, what we're gonna do is say set another variable for this sprite only called distance, and we're gonna set distance to be the square root, so get this abs of block and then change it to be the square root of, and then we're gonna need a plus first, because this is gonna be a kind of big thing, so we need a plus, and then on either side we need a multiplication operator, and then a minus in both sides of both of the multiplication operators, and then we need to say the variable x minus the x input, so it's basically just x minus the target x and y minus target y. Oh wait, so actually y, so it's x times x minus x. I mean x minus x times x minus x. You need to put the x's on one multiplication and then both y's go on the other one. So it's like, so it looks like this. Sorry, that was kind of confusing the way I explained it, but that's how it should be. And that's going to be it for that block. Then we're going to go back to the find target block, and what we're going to do here is say if the distance is less than the closest distance, whoops, that's a variable, less than closest distance, then we're going to set the closest distance to be distance, and then we're gonna set target ID, which we need to make. So we're gonna set a new variable called target ID for this sprite only, and we're gonna set it to be I. Alright, so now it can target. Oh wait, we also have to add this in the repeat loop. We have to change I by 1, so it will cycle through the entire list. Alright, now what we're gonna do is do it for the player to see if we're gonna target the player. So we're gonna find distance to target player X and player Y, and then we're gonna say this same thing right here, and we're gonna say set target ID to player right here, like that. And then in the else, we're just gonna say set target ID to player, and then find distance to target player X and player Y. So the only time, so the time that we're gonna be the time that we're gonna be targeting the player, we need to set the targeting player variable. So okay, so this is okay. So basically, I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna do it so that when you shoot one of the clones, when you shoot one of the enemies, it's gonna start attacking you, and they won't attack you until you attack it. So when you attack it, then it'll try to fight you then. So what we're gonna do is say forever if touching bullets, then we're gonna say set targeting player to be player, and then we're gonna repeat, like, I don't know, like 80, so it'll keep on targeting the player for a little bit until eventually it'll go away, but it'll keep on retargeting if you keep shooting at it. So we're gonna wait like 0.05 seconds. Then we're gonna set the targeting player to be blank, and it'll stop targeting the player. Alright, now what we're gonna do is go back to the when I started a clone. So let's go back to that. I mean, not that one, but the other when I started a clone right here. And so we're gonna say find target, and then if else target ID equals player, Then we're gonna say find direction. We're gonna say a new block called find target direction. And this is a lot like the mouse direction block also, so and the distance one. So we're gonna put in X and Y, and we're gonna click OK. So now let's make this block. So what we're gonna do is say direction, and for this byte only, so that's a new variable, and then we're gonna set direction to be, we're gonna need a plus, and we're gonna say that atan of x minus the the other x, the x that's on the block, the input, atan of x minus x, and then we're gonna need a divided, so x minus x divided by y minus y, so like the y minus like the target y. So then we're gonna say plus we need actually another plus inside of the right side of that plus, and then we're gonna say a multiplication and then a greater than on the left side of the multiplication. So we're gonna say if y minus y is greater than 0 times 180, and then plus the same thing, except we're gonna say it equals 0, like that. And then that's gonna be it, so that'll work now. And then we need to say find find target direction, and we can put in the player X and the player Y for if it is the player, and if it's not, then we can find the target direction item item target index or target ID of the shapes X and the shapes Y, like that. And then we're gonna say then we're gonna make it actually move. So let's make a new block called enemy movement, and we're gonna add an input called speed, and we're gonna click run without screen refresh, and then click OK. And let's go to that block. So what we're gonna do is say, let me clean up the blocks, and then we're gonna say if else target ID equals player. Oops. Then we're gonna say point and direction. Where's direction? Alright, direction, and then find the distance to the target, player X and player Y, and then we're gonna say if distance is greater than 80, so the player is close enough. If distance is, if the distance is greater than 80, so that would mean they're not too close. So I'm making it stay a little bit away so that they don't like bump into each other, because it looks really weird when that happens on screen, so it'll keep them from going too close. Then we're gonna say if player X is greater than X, then we're gonna change X, change a new variable called XV, so we need XV and YV for this byte only, and we're gonna change XV by speed, and then we're gonna say if it's less than, then we're gonna change XV by speed times -1, and then we're gonna do the same thing for the y. So just duplicate that and then change the player X to be player Y, change the Y to be, change the X to be Y, change XV to be YV, and then do the same thing over here. So this is player Y, this is Y, and this is YV. Alright, and now we need to set XV and YV so to add friction. So we need to say set XV, oops. Oh yeah, and this is also in the, no wait, is it? Oh wait, let me also make this thing an if else. And then we're gonna say sorry, alright. Then we're gonna say set XV to XV times 0.9 and XV times 0.9 and then do the same thing for YV. So also set YV to be YV times YV, I can't get it. YV times 0.9. Then we can change X and Y. So change X and change Y. And we're going to change X by, and then we need multiplication, XV times negative 1.2, and do the same thing for the Y, except it's going to be YV. Whoops, I'll just get it this way. Alright, then what we're going to do is in this else here, we're just going to duplicate this, and then we're going to do the same thing, except it's going to be 0.7, 0.7, and then this is going to be, these are both going to be multiplied by 1. Then we're going to say if touching the shapes data, or just the shapes, that's what it's called in my other game, so shapes, then what we're going to do is change X and Y by it times negative 2, like that, and then we're going to find then we're going to point in the direction, this is if it's not targeting the player, then we're going to point in the direction still, and then we're going to say, do the find distance to, the find distance to target, again, and we're going to do the target ID of shapes X and shapes Y. So, and then we're gonna do the target ID. I already said that. So target ID, and then we're gonna do this pretty much the same thing, except we need to just, this part's kind of boring because we just need to change all of it to be the shapes X and stuff, so it's gonna be kind of boring, but oh, also guys, I didn't actually do this this first part right. We're not just gonna do this in the else. We need to say another if else. Yeah, we need to do this, and then this is gonna go here, and this is, all this stuff goes here, like that. And then what we're gonna say is if else the round distance is less than 60, and if it is, we're gonna do the same thing, like this. So yeah, and we also, yeah, we're gonna do the same thing, and then we can go down to this again, and wait, how much of this is there? So if it's this, if its round is less than 60, and then I don't know why there's this. Also, it should just be like, yeah, that's all of it. Okay. I don't know why there was that other part there, but I don't think I need that. Alright, so then, now we just need to change all of this stuff here to be, all this player X to be item target ID of like the shapes X, and then we need to do the same thing for the shapes Y, like this. Then it is pretty much the same, except we're just gonna, we don't need to do the if to change, well actually I think we do, but we don't need to have this, well actually, okay, we need, alright, so we need this, we need the other, if it's less than 60, so we still need that, and this is, okay, this goes here, and then, so yeah, it's the same thing, just like that. And oops. I think that is all. So, well, at least all for that script, but I might have done something wrong, so I'm not sure if I did all of that right, but I hope so. So, and now it should work, and it should target things. So let's go ahead and so it's doing this, and let's just add the enemy movement, and we can just set the speed to, I don't know, be like 5. I don't know if that's a good speed or not. But yeah, let's just try this. Alright, so why is this guy showing? I don't know why this is showing. But I'm gonna fix it. Maybe if we just set ghost effect to 100 again here and that. So I don't know why it's still showing up. It could be one of the other sprites. Alright, it's just the enemies. So now if we play it again, if we shoot it, it should try to target us. So let's go back into the enemies and see why it's not doing it. So it's finding the target. It's finding the target position and everything. So I don't know why it's not, you know, like going after the player. So let's see. Well, it should be going after the player. So maybe it is a problem with this. Whoops. So let's go to the find target block. Maybe it's in there. If not targeting player equals player, then do this. So I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna try just setting targeting player to be true when I start as a clone. So whoops, set. Alright, like that, to be player. And let's just try that. So it's still not doing anything. So it's probably something with the enemy movement. Okay, so I'm gonna alright, I'm actually a pretty stupid problem. I'm pretty sure it's just because we're not replacing the X and the Y. So let me just change that real quick. I'm surprised. I guess I just forgot to do that. So let me just replace enemy X and enemy Y. Item clone ID of enemy X and enemy Y with our with the X and the Y. And sorry if you hear people in the background. My family's being loud right now, but oh, okay. So it worked. I think the problem is that the speed is too high, so I'm just gonna set it to 1. And yeah, it kind of works. So it's like backwards. Okay, that's weird. So if distance, okay, let me just, it's probably something with this. So it's like, if distance is greater than 80, so that's right. If round distance is less than 60, so that should be, it should still be working. Unless, oh no, oh wait, I just realized something. This needs to be times 1. Oh, oops. Yeah, this needs to be times 1. And this needs to be that? Okay, I don't know. Well, let's just see. Okay, so now see, it follows you around like that. But let's just make this be if distance is greater than 100. Will that change this, or will it be something else? Alright, so now it only moves if the distance is greater than 100. I'm gonna try like 150, and this is great. So now he'll follow you like this, and so see, and he will chase you, and if you get too close, then he moves away, and that's a little glitchy, but we can try to fix that later. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. So yeah, bye.